Down! PDG! PDG! Set! Hey!
Good afternoon, football fans, and welcome to 3 and Out, right here on iSports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. You already know what time it is, ladies and gentlemen. You know. And if you don't know, you better ask somebody, because this is playoff time in the NFL, and you better believe it's gonna be a whole bunch of fun. So, with that said, you guys, we got ourselves all kinds of goodies coming your way today, man, as we are talking, of course, about those NFL wildcard playoff games today. We are going to give our thoughts, give a little preview of those, and of course, we're going to talk about Week 18, the week where so many teams a few teams are fighting for something. Most teams are just trying to lose so that way they get the higher draft pick, and the majority of teams they're in the middle. They're just kind of, hey, I guess if we lose, we're going to be somewhere in the draft in the middle. I mean, this is that kind of deal, right? Also, we got to crown 2 more champions this week. It's coming to an end, you guys. Football season is it's unraveling, but hey, this is always a fun time, right? The Division III National Championship, Stag Bowl 51, if you will, was played over the weekend, and I'll tell you, it was a damn good game. Congratulations to North Central again knocking off Mountain Union. We will get into that. Also, we're going to jump on in to the FCS National Championship. They got played yesterday again atop of the mountain. The mighty North Dakota State Bison. Yeah, baby, they got it again. How about them Bison? Incredible, ridiculous run. I mean, 10 freaking national championships in the last, 14 years. It's insane. We'll be talking about those guys, and of course, giving our thoughts on the college football playoff. Yep, 4 teams, you guys, and neither of them, any of them, are 1 through 4. Isn't that crazy? I'm telling you, is there going to be a reseeding next year? Or are we just going to leave it as is? I don't know. But people are loving it, enjoying these college football playoffs. And I'll tell you, it's going to be a whole bunch of fun, guys. So get ready, man. Strap in, grab you something delicious to eat. It's lunchtime, y'all. So let's do this, man. You are now tuned in live to Mega 3 and Out, right here on iSports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sport.
Hi, eSports Radio fans. This show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, Single A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
Rise and shine. It's 4 a.m. The stars are still out. The sun is beneath the horizon, but it's time to punch in and go to work. The comfort of your warm-ups turns into the grinding out of your reps as the clinking and the clinking of the plates create a symphony of euphoria. There's no other feeling like it. Earn it, burn it, and take what's yours. IE Sports Radio has proudly partnered with Vital Apparel, a brand that not only fits great, but also promotes and donates to mental health research. Use our code IESR to get 15% off their comfortable and inspiring gym wear and help them on their amazing journey to support mental health. Go hard, take part in your iron therapy, and be strong. Because when your mental health is as strong as you are, there's no telling how far you'll go.
Hey there, IE Sports Radio fans. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can find them on Instagram at sealthedeal_wax stamps and on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals.
For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the IE Sports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop, including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at IE Sports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports.
You already know what to do, y'all. Nod your head, get into it, feel it, because y'all know, ooh, yeah, I'm even tripping. That's how it goes today, guys. It's just that kind of week, right? Just kidding. First week of 2025. The first full week is here. Man, I'm excited. I'm really, really, really excited because we got ourselves one hell of a show. And of course, we got ourselves one hell of a playoff in the NFL and also in college football. So with that said, again, appreciate you guys. Tune in, check us out all over the place. You know where to find us everywhere. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We were really building that sucker at IE Sports Radio. So head on over, like, subscribe, share. We appreciate you. We thank you so much for showing love and being a part of us the last 10 years. If this is your 10th year listening, or if it is your my gosh, you're going on 11 years in May listening, okay? Or if it's your first show ever, it doesn't matter. We appreciate you guys. We thank you so much for being here, showing love, jumping in the chat. Of course, as you see our boy Alden K in here, the host of AZ Sports Zone here on IE Sports Radio. Catch him on Friday afternoons. Always does a great job covering all things AZ Sports. But with that said, I got to jump on in here and, bring my boy in, man. He, of course, is IE Sports Radio Hall of Famer. He is, of course, the host of the SoCal Supreme Sports Show covering all things Southern California sports here on Fridays. Also, right after our boy Alden K with AZ Sports Zone. And of course, you could check him out. Set Point Mondays. He'll actually be on, and he was on yesterday, covering all things volleyball in the afternoons. Great show. The women's tournament was amazing. The men's now, we're getting underway now with the men's season. He covers it all: AVP, beach volleyball, women's NCAA volleyball. He covers literally everything. NVA. Hopefully that's making a comeback this year. Anything. Olympics, he had an amazing run with those. I just can't say enough about this guy, man. Showing him some love, bringing him on in, the co-host of this show, Mega 3 and Out. Ladies and gentlemen, my boy, Mr. Teran Rodriguez. What's going on, man? How you doing today, brother?
Hey, Larry B. Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here, and let's get it.
Oh, let's get it, man. I am so excited for this. We have ourselves a good one, man. Again, check us out. Show love our boy Teran at Teran Rodriguez 1 set point _IE. And of course, that's SoCal Show IESR. And you can follow me, our boy Larry B at the THEE_B53. 3 and Out, all spelled out, CEIEN, 3 and Out, IESR. Follow all those. And of course, we got one more. And we're going to, be doing a commercial for these guys and everything as well. But one more sponsor to show some love to, man. iSports Radio is now the brand ambassador for Raw Nutrition. So trust me, guys, I just got my protein in right now. It was delicious. Yes. After this, we eat. That's just how it goes, man. You got to get that nasty lift in. You got to get in. You got to get up, put in the work. And guess what? After you, go into the gym looking real good, all right, with Vital Apparel down there, with your Vital Apparel. I got my Iron Therapy shirt that I'll show off in just a little bit, actually. But, you show some love to some Iron Therapy. Use your 15% off promo code for the awesome brand that promotes mental health and, of course, donates to mental health charities out there. IESR at vitalapparel.com. Check them out. And, of course, you get over to Raw Nutrition. Get yourself some protein like I did. Make sure you get them gains because, you want to, get that beach bod going. Summer's not that far away. And, hey, if you just want to be strong, be strong. Tons of protein, creatine, whatever you use, whatever supplement is, these guys got them. So show some love to Raw Nutrition, and make sure you head on over to getrawnutrition.com. I don't know why that says con there. Sorry. Getrawnutrition.com. And of course, check them out. Use promo code IESR for 10% off. So there you go. Boom. Awesome. And there it is. So with that said, Teran, we always want to start the show off, giving a quick little recap for those who have been under a rock in the last couple of weeks. But of course, always just throwing back, showing love again. Once again, showing love. Appreciate you. Modern Day doing it, of course. Congratulations to those Modern Day Monarchs doing their thing, winning their third national championship since 2017. Kicking ass, doing their thing. Congratulations to Modern Day winning the high school championship this year. Of course, a month ago now in the 3C2A. Congratulations to the San Mateo Bulldogs defeating Mount San Antonio, doing a great job. Also kicking some ass, winning their second national championship. So congratulations to the Junior Colleges of California champion there, San Mateo. The NJCAA Hutchinson, congratulations to them yet again, also winning an amazing game here over Iowa Western. What a job for those guys, man. Their second national championship in program history. So just a really, 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 really good job to those guys. Again, in the NAIA, we just recently had Grandview knocking off Kaiser. Congratulations to those guys, 35-7, winning their second national championship as well, and their first one since 2013. Awesome job to those guys. And we had a couple weeks ago, actually, this was further back, or same day as the NAIA, but Division II, of course. Congratulations again to Ferris State for beating Valdosta State. Big ups to those guys. That was their third national championship in the last 4 years. So congratulations to those guys getting it done. And now, Teran, we get to talk about this past weekend. More champions to be crowned. We got all but one now, Teran. All but one is to be crowned. So with that, let's go ahead and jump on into Division III, man. I'm still not a fan, Teran. I love Division III. I played it, okay? But I'm so mad that they put the damn game on Sunday night. That was so hard to follow along with Sunday Night Football, was it not?
Yeah, that was very frustrating if you ask me. It's like, look, I get it. Maybe there are some circumstances that this game couldn't meet, but you got to do better in terms of putting it in terms of placing a game where it's not going to have to compete with anything. I mean, Saturday would have been better, maybe before the NFL games and whatnot. But this was a definitely dropped the ball when it came to this. So it is frustrating, but it is what it is, and hopefully everyone can learn from this.
Yeah, hopefully those who put this together will not put it on the biggest game of the NFL season, same time, because I'm sure they'll get more viewers. But regardless, it was a great game. Teran, I really enjoyed this one, man. Mount Union, North Central, they went at it, man. And freaking Mount Union, they've been in the national championship the last 5 years running, man. And well, in those 5 years, they did it yet again for their third time. They are 3 out of 5, man, the last 5 years. These guys got it done. Of course, not counting 2020 because that was a COVID year. But congratulations, man. North Central defeats Mount Union 45-50. I mean, this was just a beatdown, dude. I mean, it was a good game. I mean, overall, man, actually, it wasn't even the score. Hold on. But, Teran, I'll tell you right now, I really, 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 really loved the fact that Mount Union, I mean, they came out, they balled. But unfortunately, dude, it just wasn't their game, man. I mean, the big deal here was North Central. These guys, just when you thought that modern, I don't know why it's a modern, just when you thought, I don't know why I had 15 in there, guys. It was 25. My apologies. So let's go ahead and run that there. But just when you thought Mount Union was making a comeback, dude, just when you thought it was going to be, this was it. Unfortunately, just not for them, not their night. North Central showed how freakishly talented they are. I mean, how about this, man? This dude over here, I'll tell you, Lennon. Okay, this guy right here, man, Luke Lennon, I think he's a senior, if I'm not mistaken, Teran. But I mean, this dude, man, 18 for 26, 298 yards. He threw for 4 TDs on the day. I mean, it was incredible watching this offense just cook. Coleman, he only got 2 carries, man. They threw the ball the majority of the time. 68 yards on 1 touchdown. I mean, this was huge. And Skunka, their leading receiver, 3 receptions, 94 yards. Man, Teran, North Central just owned this game.
Yeah, the first half was tight, but then once North Central was basically playing cat and mouse with their opponent, this was pretty much just a game where I don't think that Mount Union was going to win. And Mount Union's defense needed to play exceptional, but unfortunately they did not. And for North Central, I was just impressed by their offense. You mentioned Luke Lennon. He's actually a grad student, so technically he is a senior. But yeah, he went out with a bang and not a whimper. And he got his receivers involved. The run game was pretty solid as well between Charles Coleman and Joe Sacco. And the receiving yards, that was pretty much led by Thomas Scona as well as Jacob Parody. So all in all, I think this was a good, clean game by both teams. It's just that North Central just played a lot more cleaner, and I think their offense was basically just a steamroller. And Mount Union can only do so much in terms of trying to slow them down.
Yeah, dude, this was hard. This was a hard game for that Mount Union defense, and we knew it, Teran. We knew this was going to be. We both picked Mount Union because we said, you know what, they were going to come out and ball. 2017 was their last year they actually won it. But Teran, as I've been saying, dude, if you look at the history of the Stag Bowl, these guys have been kicking ass since 1993. Teran, you and I were toddlers, dude.
Yes,
they've been playing great. Since then, they've been they've been in and around this game, and it just goes to show you how good they are. How good this program has been. They've had some amazing coaches there. They have had some great talent. There has been guys. I mean, I know there has been very many, but I mean, come on, man. The name Cecil Shorts. I mean, you know who that guy is. He freaking played in the NFL from Mount Union. I'm just saying, you don't get many of those guys like the Ali Marpets from Hobart. You don't really get a lot of these D3 cats, but when you do, they are special. And these guys can ball, man. A lot of them, like myself, just undersized dudes looking for a chance, and some of them just take full advantage and do what they got to do, and get that chance. Some coach takes a chance on them, so maybe that'll happen for these guys. But yeah, Teran, what a performance though by North Central in that second half.
Yeah, I really thought North Central just turned it on the second half. Again, it was such a good battle in that first half, and then North Central, they just played cat and mouse with Mount Union, and that was pretty much a recipe for disaster for Mount Union. Every time Mount Union tried to still draw within 3, North Central just had the answer, and that's kind of what championship teams do and high-powered offenses do. And then that fourth quarter came. North Central could only do so much, or Mount Union could only do so much against North Central, and that was pretty much the game right there.
It's so true, man, because the big thing just when you thought, I mean, Mount Union, I mean, look at the scoring, man. I got to get into this. Scoring is insane. I mean, looking at how they went back and forth, I take a look at they started out, 7-7 first quarter. And then, like you said, it was almost a deadlock at the half. Okay, 14-10. Then we get into the third quarter. It was, North Central pulls away. Parody scores a touchdown, Lennon to Parody. And boom, there we go, 21-10 now with just about 6 minutes left in the third quarter. Well, guess what? Because like you said, cat and mouse, here come the Purple Raiders, man. And just what an incredible job, by the way. DeShields to Turner, boom, into the end zone, 21-17 now. Oh, crap, Teran. Is the fourth quarter going to be fun? No, it's not, because once the fourth quarter starts, we're talking within a minute, you get Luke Lennon to Rummel. There we go. Now it's 28-17. But wait, Mount Union's not done yet. They scored the Shields to Cooper Jr. 28-25, and this is with 13:37 to go in the game. In Teran, right after that, it's like immediately, very next drive, another freaking answer from North Central, and there it is. You get Charles Coleman on a 66-yard, and when he broke that thing, Teran, I just thought Mount Union has to keep this up. You have to keep on maxing these guys, because after that big run, that gave them all the freaking momentum they needed. And that was it. 34-25 is where it stayed for a very long time. And after that, man, we got all the way down to the very end of the game. And what happens? North Central just turns it on one more time, man. Lennon to Parody again. 41-25. Extra point was good. 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the game. At that point in time, Teran, really, it didn't matter. There was not enough time. North Central had an insurmountable hole to climb out of. I mean, I've seen crazier things happen, especially in college. But Teran, when it came down to it, man, just North Central came out and balled, man. They came out and did exactly what they knew they can do in this game, and they've done it. I mean, look at how they blew out Susquehanna. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying anything bad in the semifinals, because Johns Hopkins is a damn good team, and Mount Union had to battle those guys. As you like to say sometimes, maybe that semifinal took something out of them. I mean, Johns Hopkins battled those guys, Mount Union, so maybe that's what happened. Maybe Mount Union just didn't have a lot left for that championship. I don't know. But what I do know is North Central does it again. Congratulations, man. It's their third title in program history, and their third in the last 7 years, man. So, I mean, all together, because COVID and everything like that. And now here. But, dude, I mean, incredible job. The last 5 Stag Bowls, the last 6, really. But once again, we didn't count the COVID year, but 3 freaking titles. How about this, man? Congratulations to these guys, right? They deserve it, man.
Yep, that was a very strong performance, especially in the fourth quarter. I think that what the big problem was is that 66-yard touchdown run from Coleman, it basically forced the offense to get back onto the field, and they were basically in desperation mode. They did not have a whole lot of time to rest. So I think that was kind of the problem right there for Mount Union, and then eventually it just fell apart from there on out.
Yeah, it was a rough go there. At that point in time, you didn't really have a lot of I don't know, like I said, Mount Union just didn't have a lot of momentum, and it just wasn't swinging their way, man. Everything Mount Union did, North Central just topped it. It was crazy to see. But anyway, man, I just got a little fuzzy on my hat over here, probably from my cat, but anyway, with that said, Teran, let's go ahead and move on, man, to the FCS National Championship. By the way, man, we had the FCS National Championship being played yesterday night, and guess what, Teran? Guess what? It's like, it's not, and this is not a knock. We are not saying anything bad about these guys, but what I am saying is go to freaking Division I single A already. Oh my gosh, how much blood do you want? But North Central does it. I mean, North Dakota State does it again. I mean, I want to see these guys compete so freaking bad in the FBS. It's not even funny. Like I really think they'd be pretty good. I don't know if they're making any playoffs right now, but in a couple of years they could. They're already a powerhouse in the FCS. I mean, this team can really, really turn this program into a freaking major powerhouse. But when it comes down to it, though, I mean, Darren, this is what, 17 titles?
I
They
think
won.
so, yeah.
This is crazy. I mean, overall, we're talking from the 60s when this was the lower divisions was all one. We're talking in the 80s when they dominated Division Two. They dominated Division Two. They won like it looked like they did now. I mean, not this many, but they won like 4 or 5, I think, in the 80s. Then they had a long drop off, and they started destroying everybody again in the FCS in 2011. And it started in 2011, and here it is now, man. So, what a game, man! Congratulations to North Dakota, the North Dakota State Bison. Dude, Montana State, though. Oh, this one's painful. This one hurts because I just, as much as you'd love to see the Bobcats earn this thing, man, it was a stake in the heart. They really fought. They really, really, really fought. And I mean, really, Taryn, I mean, at the half, what was it, 21-3? So it's not like they fought the whole game. I mean, North Dakota came out and beat these guys down for a whole half. Then in the third quarter, you have 2 freaking touchdowns unanswered. And what do you get? You also get a stout defense. And this was huge for Montana State as they pull within 3 points. It was 21-18 going into the fourth quarter. And then just like North Central, man, just wasn't going to leave it. You know, they score a touchdown, 28-18. Looks like Cam Miller to Joe Stoffel, or I don't want to butcher his name, but yeah, Stoffel. And then boom, they go up by 10 again. But wait, Montana State is not done. They score another one, 38. This time it is 28-25. Oh my gosh, Tommy Mallet, 44-yard run into the end zone, kind of like the North Central run, you know, in a sense, but gets in there, 3 points. And then guess what happens, man? North Dakota State does it again, 35-25. Shamar Brown, 3-yard carry into the end zone with 2 minutes and 41 seconds left in the game. It is, again, a 10-point game, but no, Montana State is not done. What happens? Tommy Mallet will hit Taco Dowler, I believe, for a 19-yard pass into the end zone. And there it is, dude, 35-32 with 1:09 to go in the game. They attempt the onside kick. There was a penalty. Then they attempted another onside kick. Didn't happen. And that's just it, dude. I think they played the clock. They had like one timeout. Then North Dakota State ran it down as much as possible. But wouldn't you know it, as North Dakota State punts the ball rolls and time runs out. So once they fielded the ball deep in Bobcat territory, game over. Then they ran and celebrated. Dude, that's incredible, man. Their 10th national championship, at least in the FCS, in program history, in their first since 2022. Obviously, a couple years removed. They lost it to South Dakota State for a few years there, but regardless, they lost one, but South Dakota State won 2 in the last couple of years. But North Dakota State back on the top of the mountain of the FCS. How about this one, Taryn?
I thought this was a very good game. And the big thing about Montana State is when they fell behind and they just couldn't get their offense going, that was pretty much all I need to know. When I saw that 64-yard touchdown run from Cam Miller, he just had wide open space. And it's like, oh, my God, this is bad for Montana State. And being down 21-3 is not ideal. And I give Montana State a lot of credit. They played really effectively in the third quarter. But every time they had the answer, North Dakota State just responded back, and so on and so forth. And what you need to know is that Cam Miller had himself a game, and he didn't even need to throw the ball all that much. Heck, Bryce Lance had got his fill in the first quarter. So I thought for North Dakota State, their offense was effective. They ran the ball effectively because they committed to the run once they were up. Meanwhile, for Montana State, their run game was pretty good. I mean, if it got off to a better start in that first half, I think maybe it could have, just maybe they could have possibly had a better chance at winning. But that's what happens when you go down 14-0 at the end of the first quarter, and then you eventually go down 21-3 at halftime. So playing from behind is just a bad way to try to win a championship. So I think for North Dakota State, the experience was there. And you also got to remember that they have a first-year head coach in Tim Polasek. Well, yeah, it's hard to believe that they have a first-year head coach, because it seems like they have the same head coach that still wins championships year after year after year after year after year.
Yeah.
So I think for North Dakota State, they just have that winning way about them. And Montana State, this one hurts for them, but they're just gonna have to hope that they get some of their players back for next year, or they get some good recruits in, and they're just gonna have to pick up the pieces, because FCS is still going to get as dangerous as ever. It's only going to continue to get better, and with not just Montana State, but North Dakota and South Dakota State, South Dakota as a whole. You got UC Davis on the come up.
Ooh.
So I think for Montana State, they have to keep up with the pack, or they're going to get washed away.
It's true, man. And man, what a good couple of years there for Montana State. And they were in it, dude. I mean, my gosh, they were in it last year. Actually, no, I think that last year we actually had, if I'm not mistaken, let's take a look at last year's. I got my little notes here. But so yeah, last year in the FCS championship, South Dakota State defeated Montana 23-3. And the year before that in the FCS, we had South Dakota State defeated North Dakota State 45-21. And then before that, this is where it was the rematch of this game. North Dakota State defeated Montana State 38-10. So I mean, it's like, if you think about it, dude, Montana State just, unfortunately, man, there's so much power there. They got a lot. They really do. But this is what I'm telling you, man. This goes to show you, can North Dakota State just go? Just go. Take South Dakota State with you. They're good too. They're very good. So those two can join. I mean, who would they join, Teran? I mean, I wouldn't say
the Pac-12.
You know me. No, stop it. I'm a geography guy. I hate that. Oh, I hate that so
I'm sorry.
much. Hey, why? Okay, why not San Diego State and San Jose State both go to the Pac-12?
I was going to say Mountain West.
And then these two go to the Mountain West. Why not? I mean, why not? Now, Mount Union, we were high on them for a little bit. After this one, I don't know, maybe they stay. I'd love to see them go to Division II still. But maybe North Central needs to go to Division II. As well as,
maybe UC Davis, because in other sports, UC Davis is going to be going to the Mountain West. So maybe if UC Davis gets their lick up and they start to get good, then maybe they could get their way into FBS and then join the Mountain West Conference.
Exactly. And I would love that. I think that would be an awesome deal there. Why not, Teran? You know what I mean? Like, we have some great football here. And I mean, the domination is great, but how many times can you dominate before it's like, okay, you need to go higher? And this is good. This is perfect. I love this. It'd be an awesome, awesome thing to see these guys jump up to the FBS. So let's see, man. Let's see. How many years will it take them to become a big player, in the FBS? So I'm just saying, we'll see. Hopefully that'll happen soon, but there you have it. So anyway, Teran, there it is for the FCS. Now let's go ahead and get on to bowl season real quick in the FBS. We got one bowl game to talk about, man, because bowl season is over. Teran, bowl season's over. No.
Yep.
I'm so sad. I enjoyed it, man. Oh, that gives me this time to go back to work next week. Oh, no. Okay, anyway, I'm just kidding. I love my job. But regardless, man, this is a bummer. But regardless, it was a good game. This was a good one. The Bahama Bowl actually kicked off when we were still live last week, and it was a good game. I really enjoyed the Bahama Bowl. It was a pretty solid game from start to finish. For one team, really, not two teams, not both teams out there. But man, I'll just say right now, Buffalo just asserted themselves. They have shown that they are very, 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 very good. They've proven that they are a strong football team. And though they weren't, the best, okay, they were 9-4, but though they didn't have like the greatest record of all in the Mid-American, it doesn't matter. Like, they played, dude. They finished third place in the MAC. They're a good football team, man. And I think they're right where they need to be. Just to continue to see this team grow, man. But how about this performance from Buffalo?
Yeah, I thought this was a very good performance by them. I thought they established the run well. For Liberty, my big problem with them is they turned the ball over 3 times. They had 2 fumbles, and then they had an interception. And Buffalo didn't even turn the ball over once. You can't win games if you're losing the turnover battle 3-0. So I thought for Buffalo, they established the run well, and their quarterback didn't have to throw the ball all that much, which I thought was good for them. And I think for Buffalo. They really got it going mostly in the second half. I mean, the first half was kind of a quiet half. It was more of a defensive half, but then Buffalo really kind of turned it on, and they limited Liberty to only 242 total yards, while Buffalo had a little over 350. So, again, Buffalo didn't even need to throw the ball all that much, and they just ran the ball well with Alge, Henderson, and that was pretty much their leading back. And, again, when you don't turn the ball over that much, you're doing things correctly. Yeah.
That's for sure, dude. And they balled. They played so good, man. I mean, there's a lot of good talent on this Buffalo team. I know there's actually a big time player that is actually looking at the NFL. Patty was she introduced
Yeah, I
us.
do remember that.
And yeah, I mean, he is I got to get his name real quick, but yeah, dude's a freaking beast, man. I mean, this team is pretty good. This team is actually very solid. I love when players come out of these lower schools too, because you look at some of these guys come out to be even bigger and better than some of these guys. I mean, who came from who's the last linebacker to come from Buffalo, Teran?
Khalil Mack.
And I love his story. I mean, for those of you who don't know Khalil Mack's story, guys, at least with coming into the NFL, guys, he used to wear, I forgot what number he wore, but regardless, by his senior year, as you know, this was before the NIL and all that, and this was like the last year, I think, the NCAA 2014, which I still love that game. Now I got college football. I'm happy that's out now. But the story of Khalil Mack is incredible, because his junior year, he was this big time hardcore linebacker. I think he was an All-American. He was definitely All-MAC. He was coming out. He was balling. In Teran, the player that had his likeness, linebacker number, whatever his name was on the game, Teran, he was only ranked, his overall was a 42. Teran, it was a 42. So Khalil Mack was like, that's disrespectful. Like, I know this isn't my name on this character, but this person who's betraying me in this game, before the NIL, it's a 42 overall. So what did he do, Teran? He wore number 42 his senior year. It was like I guess consistent motivation. Like, this is what I think about you, basically. You know what I mean? Like some Ice Cube, no Vaseline. Here's what I think about you. You know what I mean? Like, so this dude, man, like he got off, balled out his senior year, drafted by the Raiders, and the rest is history. Now he's wearing one of those jerseys you got on right now. I mean, I'm just saying, Teran. So what I'm saying is he shared the with the Bills, also with Adam. And speaking of the Raiders, by the way, man, breaking news: Antonio Pierce has actually been relieved of his duties at the moment. So.
Oof. Yikes.
It's a rough go. I just got the update right now, but
sorry, Larry.
Bummer. I love him a lot. I think he's a great guy, but this whole situation was just a shit show. Teran, the Raiders are about as dysfunctional as one of these. They're about as dysfunctional as reality TV directors want the shows to actually look like. That's what the Raiders are terrible. You know this. The Raiders have been horrible for a very long time. The last time they were even relevant was 2017, and even then they sucked. I mean, 16, 17. It was just, I don't know. This team is horrible, and it's unfortunate. But unfortunately, yeah, Antonio Pierce has been relieved of his duties. Breaking news here. Bummer. But hey, what do you do? I mean, something I guess we all thought was coming, but bummer. Yeah, anyway, man. So with that, let's go ahead and jump on into the college. Oh, well, if there's anything you want to add to that, Teran?
Well, actually, that one player that is a big standout defensively for Buffalo.
Yes.
That's Sean Dolak. He actually leads the team in tackles and interceptions. He has 168 tackles and he has 5 interceptions. Surprisingly, he didn't have the pick 6 that pretty much sealed the game against Liberty. But I think he could be something special when it comes to the NFL. I wouldn't be surprised if he was a late round pick and he eventually develops. And anybody could do it. I mean, you don't have to be from Ohio State or Alabama or Georgia or any of those big time schools. You can make your own name be known if you keep putting your head down and grinding and doing all that sort of thing.
Dude, that is so freaking true, man. So yeah, it's a funny comment here. Our very own Alden K says, Raiders, please take our OC. Oh boy. So we can keep losing, Alden. I mean, I don't know. I mean, they're better than us, so maybe not. Maybe we should just take him because man, anything's better than we are right now. But here's what it is. Look, I don't know who the Raiders think they're going to get, but we'll get more into the NFL in just a bit. Darren, we got to jump on into the college football playoff, man. And, well, here it is. We were getting ready for these previews, and they are in. We recapped the games last week. We already talked about the previous games. Here it is, Teran. Coming up, man, this is Thursday and Friday today. This is, of course, Tuesday, January 7th. On the 9th, Thursday the 9th, and Friday the 10th. Here we go, man. It's time to rock 'em, sock 'em, robots. Teran, all four teams not seeded 1 through 4. Oh, how you like that one? But here it is, man. Notre Dame taking on Penn State in the Orange Bowl. And, of course, in the Cotton Bowl, we have Ohio State taking on Texas. Who are you taking and why?
For Notre Dame, Penn State, man, this is the battle of the two teams that beat USC. But also it's kind of the battle of the two teams that seem to crumble when it truly matters, but now one of them is going to have to give. Man, it's like Notre Dame, they have such a good, really good defense, and they have their quarterback is so shifty, and they could also run the ball well. But Penn State also has a very talented tight end in Tyler Warren, who I think can become a first-round pick next draft. And then Drew Aller has actually proven himself. He isn't bad. I mean, he's not the next Mahomes or Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson, but he's kind of like a better version of Trace McSorley and then some. I can't believe I'm going to say this. I'm going to take Penn State. I think Penn State wins this one. I feel Notre Dame, this is probably a matchup that Penn State loves, and I think they're just going to have to chew up the clock and be physical defensively and run the ball down the throat of Notre Dame. Will it be easy? No, but it's going to be like one of those old school Big Ten games, or it's probably going to be like an old school college football game in general with Princeton versus Rutgers and whatnot. But I got Penn State winning a grinded out game.
That is going to be huge. That's a big one, Darren. That's a big one to me because I can't see Notre Dame losing this game. The reason why, Darren, is because Notre Dame should have lost already. Notre Dame was supposed to lose last week. There's no way they were going to win that game, and they did. I'm sorry. I know, Georgia, I get it. No starting QB. I get it. Injuries. But, dude, it's just this team. I don't know, man. Notre Dame
has taken the role of cockroaches.
They have, dude. They have. They're special. There's something special there. And I can't stand Notre Dame. I can't stand Penn State either. I'm an SC guy. Fight on. I hate both schools.
Yeah, Marcus Freeman has done a great job with Notre Dame, though.
He has. So what I'm saying is this is going to be really good. Franklin is also, he's done really, really well. I know sometimes we bag on him a little bit, because he hasn't really done much there. But regardless, man, he's just one hell of a player. I mean, he's one hell of a coach. Both of them are. They've made it this far, right? And they've defied a lot. So, I mean, Penn State is they're a great team. I like them, but for some reason, I got to give the edge here to Notre Dame. And when it comes to the Cotton Bowl, oh my gosh. Okay. I still, as I talked about last, a couple days ago, still can't believe Oregon got smacked the way they did. But Ohio State found another gear. And to me, this would be Oregon defeating Texas and then Oregon going on and winning the whole thing. Texas is a great school, and there is so much there. But right now, I don't know what's going on. I get it. Everyone's saying, Ewers out, put in Manning. But like I said last week, man, I mean, how much pressure you want to put on this guy? I mean, he's going to get his time. Don't worry. right now they got a dude there behind center. Let's see what happens. Who knows? They put in Manning, he becomes a Tua Tagovailoa, and you know what I mean? Like it happens. It happened before, right, Teran? And it happened before that too. So what I'm saying is I mean, I probably did, but what I'm saying is I don't know. Regardless, Texas is been strong all year, but after last week, it's going to be hard to beat Ohio State, man. So I got Notre Dame, Ohio State in the final. One more time, you got Penn State, and who are you taking in the other game?
I'm going to take Ohio State. I think their offense has really come alive, and Texas has barely survived against Arizona State. And I'm not picking Ohio State and Penn State just because Alden put in the comment section that he's got Penn State and Ohio State. I think Ohio State's offense is going to be too much for Texas. I feel if Texas gets off to a slow start, Ohio State is going to just pour it on like they did with Oregon. So I think this Ohio State team, they took their licks when they lost to Michigan and Oregon, but then they've kind of reestablished their offense. Their offense looked really good against Tennessee, and then against Oregon, that was pretty much where we saw the true Ohio State. That was the real Ohio State that we all should have seen against Oregon the first time, against Michigan in that final match of the regular season. And again, I think those losses really helped Ohio State out. Now, Texas, they did lose to a talented Georgia team, but Georgia doesn't have the same offensive output as Ohio State does. So you got to go with I got to go with Ohio State. I think Texas's secondary is going to need to be really good, because if not, then the Ohio State's going to throw the ball all over them and just air raid them all day and night.
Yeah, that is about as true as it gets. Good picks. I like them. I like that a lot. I think, obviously we're both taking Ohio State. I mean, we'll get to the championship when it gets there, but as of right now, and it sucks. I feel bad. I want Texas to be there. They've had a tough season, but Ohio State is a damn good team. And then obviously we our one disagreement is Notre Dame and Penn State. And let's just see, dude. Let's just see. The Orange Bowl is going to be a really fun game to watch. Forgive me.
Penn State, Ohio State, or Penn State, Notre Dame could literally go either way. They're both physical teams. Yes. They both love to run the ball, and their quarterbacks are more shifty than meets the eye.
Yes, it's so freaking true. Unfortunately, though, the other game, I don't want to sound like a jerk, but I felt like this one's more in the bag, especially after what we saw last week. But who knows? Texas could come out surprise us the way that Ohio State surprised me over Oregon. We don't know. As Teran always says, that's why we play the game, right?
Yep.
So with that said, man, this has been a lot of fun talking about these games. But okay, so those are our picks. We will definitely be back on Saturday morning to recap these and get ready for that championship coming up on the 20th, January 20th, you guys. 3 more games in the college football season. Oh my gosh. So exciting, man. But anyway, with that said, Teran, we're going to take ourselves a quick break, man. When we come back, we're going to jump on into the NFL, recap what was a eventful yet really, really weird, annoying week 18. I don't know. We need to stop the extra week, guys. This is really stupid. We have enough. So anyway, but we're going to recap week 18 of the NFL. And then, of course, we're going to jump on into our picks for Wild Card Weekend coming up this weekend. Oh, man. The first 2 seeds, we knew who they were, right? We knew it was going to be the Chiefs, obviously. And we knew it was going to be, well, we didn't know. But, well, now we do. Those Lions doing their thing, getting it done. How far can they go? Will the Chiefs three-peat? And who is going to make it out of this Wild Card Weekend? Well, we're going to find all that out, or at least talk about what we think is going to happen coming on up. Jump in the chat. By the way, big ups and thank you, man. Our boy Alden K in the chat, man, says, last NFL comment, I predict the Raiders will go after Dion and Shador. Yeah, well, yeah, why not? Why not, right? I mean, what if the Raiders did that? Wouldn't that be crazy, right? But it's a very Al Davis and possibly Mark Davis thing to do. Hey, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying, hey, they're going after the biggest and the best. And so I get it, but I don't know. I mean, we'll see. Like I said, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I love them both, but it's a situation too bad. Robert Kraft, you heard him talking about how he felt so horrible for Mayo. He put him in a horrible situation. Do you want to do that, Al Davis? I mean, Mark Davis, do you want to do that to these guys? I don't know. Somebody's going to have to be put into that position, right? So might as well be, I don't know who will be. We'll find out. But anyway, Alden Kale says, I got Penn State and Ohio State winning. ASU still got robbed, by the way. Yeah, yes and no. Yes and no in that game. Like I said, we talked about that last week, but good points, man. But make sure you check out Alden, man, Friday afternoons before Teran with the AZ Sports Zone. And then, of course, a couple hours later, Teran with the SoCal Supreme Sports Show. With that said, you guys, we're going to take ourselves a quick break. When we come back, we're talking the NFL. You're listening to Mega 3 and Out right here on iSports Radio. Your direct feed for all. That is sports. We'll be right back after this.
Sports fans, do you like teams that are tough, cities that are tougher, and fan bases that are passionate about their teams? How about teams that are historic and stadiums that are iconic? Then you belong in Chicago, and you need to check out Chi-Town Weekly. Join me, Adam Kernan, every week as we keep up with all things Chicago sports. Bears, Bulls, Blackhawks, Cubs, White Sox. We'll cover them all, plus more. The Windy City is always buzzing, and we'll keep you up on all the big games and major stories. So tune in to Chi-Town Weekly every week right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
What's happening, sports fans? Are you a fan of Southern California sports? Are you looking for a show hotter than a hot summer day in California? Then look no further than the SoCal Supreme Sports Show, where I talk about all things Southern California sports. That's right, all sports teams from Southern California. From the hard-hitting tackles of the NFL, to the killer crossovers and big three-pointers of the NBA and WNBA, to the grand slams of the MLB, to the bone-chilling goals of the NHL, and to the booming kicks of the MLS, the SoCal Supreme Sports Show has it all for you. Oh, and let us not forget about the college sports as well. So join me, Teran Rodriguez, every week here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
And if you want to check out that show, you already know what to do, man. Check him out Friday afternoons, as we just said, man, after AZ Sports Zone right here on iSports Radio. Once again, your direct feed for all that is sports. Man, we got all kinds of stuff here. I'm telling you, it's something for everybody. this network has something for everybody, man. No matter what sports you love, what you're into, what city you represent, multiple cities, doesn't matter. We got you here covered. So with that said, Teran, oh man, we just went through all of that. I'm exhausted. Just kidding. Went through all that college football. We're wrapping it on up. Let's go ahead and jump on in to the NFL. So with that said, dude, week 18 of the NFL. Week 18 of the NFL. I don't even know what to say. It was look, teams who won, right? We knew there was going to be a solid group of teams who did it, who were going to get things done. There was going to be a bunch of teams who were just going to look like crap, and that's exactly what it was. So let's go ahead and get that recap in. Teran, obviously on Saturday we left off with we left off with getting ready for Cleveland and Baltimore. Well, obviously Baltimore got down, man. These guys went ahead and knocked off Cleveland, as they should have, right? 35-10 in Cincinnati. This was the scary, the one that I did not see coming. I really thought Pittsburgh was going to run away with this thing, or at least win it, but Pittsburgh looked sluggish in this game, man. There was something wrong. I don't know what happened, but as you can see here, Pittsburgh, okay, cool. Steelers are still in it. Regardless, though, I hope they don't play that way versus the Ravens next week. I watched Hard Knocks, of course, the in-season one. That was a lot of fun watching it. enjoyed watching it all throughout the week, last week, and I don't know, Teran, it just shows. Really, it shows. Everything, like the ins and outs. The Browns look horrible. The Browns, they have a lot of rebuilding, as again, rebuild number 85 in the last couple of years. And then of course we have the Bengals, who just clawed their way. They knew they were going to need some help. Unfortunately, they didn't get in. But what a way to end off with a bang, as one more middle finger to the Steelers to get that thing off for the season. And then of course Baltimore, the two home teams, one winning, one losing. And that is how the AFC North wrapped up on Saturday. And then, of course, on to Sunday's games. I mean, I'm just going to run through these things because a lot of them were just like, wow. But, of course, we had here Carolina knocking off Atlanta. That was crazy seeing Carolina pull that game off. Neither team was really going anywhere. Let's be real. The Panthers, these guys had in dudes from outside on the street, And of course, Atlanta, they went to overtime, but 44-38. And then, of course, we had Washington knocking off a Cowboy team. It was just bad. Just bad. That's all there is to it. The Cowboys this year have been bad. They've proven to be bad. Whatever. Though the Commanders barely won it. Whatever, 23-19. They get that thing done in Dallas. Next up, we have Chicago defeating the Bears. I'm sorry, Chicago. Sorry, the Chicago's did defeat the Bears. Yeah, all year long, Chicago defeated the Bears for sure. But the Chicago Bears defeating the Packers. This was just a wow. Of course, Green Bay pulled a lot of their starters, is what it is. Chicago ends with a positive note, but let's just say they have a lot of work to do in the offseason. Next up, we have the Houston Oilers. I'm sorry. I love how mad the Houston fans get when they see Tennessee wear those old Oilers throwbacks. But the Houston Texans, though, serving up the Houston Oilers, just kidding, the Tennessee Titans, 23-14. In Tennessee, you're going to need all kinds of help this year. Houston, hey, they got themselves a victory, and they're in the show. They're in the playoff postseason, so there you go. Jacksonville, Indianapolis was absolutely sad. Jacksonville played into an overtime game with guys who we don't even know who the hell they were. Whatever. Indianapolis just continues to look like they're just good enough, but never the best, never the team to look the best in the division, just good enough. In Jacksonville, of course, finding a way to play really good, but still lose. That's just kind of what they do. Next up, you had Buffalo. This was crazy, man. New England, I mean, of all freaking games, you lose, you get the first overall pick. Nope, they couldn't do that. Regardless, unfortunately, Mayo got let go, the lead of his duties after this. As you heard Robert Kraft, in the if you guys heard him, he said that he feels bad because he put him in a bad situation. So rough go. Regardless, though, they gets one more win for the road over Buffalo. Buffalo was sitting pretty much everybody. Regardless, though, everyone is all over Joe Milton. I say, why not just start the guy? My gosh, I don't know. He's got an upper hand. Let's see what May's got, but I don't know. If May messes up, man, Milton could be your dude. So anyway, with that said, Philadelphia defeating the Giants 20-13. Surprise, surprise. Tampa Bay defeating the Saints. I don't know how they struggled. I watched the game. It was crazy. But the Tampa Bay, who still managed also to make the playoffs, regardless, Tampa Bay having some struggles there with the Saints. You probably shouldn't play like that in the next, in their next game. Denver just absolutely destroying Kansas City, 38-0. Look, I understand. I get it. I understand, Colorado people. Okay, Denver fans, I get you. You're excited. That wasn't full force. Kansas City, you guys know that. All right. But you know what? It was a good game. Beat them down. Kansas City's resting everybody. They don't care. But Denver, good job for those guys. They looked good, man. And they're going to be playing well, and they're going to be playing their way into the freaking playoffs, man. So good job for those guys. Then you have the Raiders. Thank you. They started out looking good. And I was like, why? Stop it. No. We need the highest pick we can get. Please, God. But what happens? The Chargers, remember, they were the Chargers, and they eat Raiders for breakfast, and they did what they were supposed to do. So thank you, Chargers. 34-20 in that game. Next up, the Rams. What a gut wrencher. Seattle got a nice little victory there over the Rams. at the end of the season at 30-25. Of course, that didn't do much. Rams still managed to get on in there. And then, of course, we have here Miami and New York. The Jets finally win a game to end off that to end the season off. I hear Rex Ryan's the guy. I'm just saying, I'm sorry. Sports Center has me cracking up here. Did you hear what they said there? We'll get to that in a little bit. But Rex Ryan's over here like, yeah, I'm the best candidate. That's right. I'm going to get the job. And if that's going to happen, basically shots at you, Aaron Rodgers. You aren't going to be showing up and treating like a country club and whatever. That was crazy. But who knows? Maybe he is the guy. Maybe Rex Ryan is the guy to right the ship. Maybe that's it, Aaron Rodgers. Maybe you should, maybe you should call it. Who knows? But nobody knows but him is what it is. Still a great player. Just, I don't know. I don't know how him and Rex are going to mix if he gets hired. Our own Ricky K, the host of New York State of Sports, doesn't believe he's going to be the next head coach of the Jets. We'll see. Anyway, we have here Arizona defeating the Niners 47-24. Hey, meaningless game, but it doesn't matter. The one last kick in the nuts to the Niners. Good job to the Arizona Cardinals. And then, of course, the Detroit Lions. They wanted this game. They wanted it, and they wanted it bad. The Vikings, they didn't show up. They weren't starving for this game the way the Lions were. And guess what? They got it done. 31-9 over the Lions over the Vikings. And that will do it for Sunday night. That'll do it for the entire week 18. Teran, I talked way too much. What did you think about these games in week 18?
Yeah, there were some games that were notable. I mean, the Bengals being the Steelers. The Steelers' down collapse must be studied. The fact that they lost 4 straight against quality teams. Well, 3 were against playoff teams. 1 was against a team that should have made the playoffs and could have made the playoffs. But the Steelers' collapse must be studied, and now they're going in on a 4-game skid to Baltimore. And because the Steelers lost, the Chargers saw the door opened, and they were able to eventually get together and beat the Raiders. It was a little ugly, especially in that first half, but late in the second quarter, Chargers eventually got together and wound up piecing it together. Now, Washington beating Dallas was big, and even though Washington didn't play Jaden Daniels, or if they did, they probably played him for a limited time, Marcus Mariota did come up big, and Washington locked up the 6th seed. Tennessee locked up the number 1 overall pick with the Patriots winning and them losing, and now they're pretty much cleaning house, as well as the Patriots. The Eagles played backups and still beat the Giants starting lineup, which I think is pretty sad. The Bucs getting a big comeback against the Saints was big just because they needed to win. And even if they had lost, they would have been they still would have been in the big dance. And also Mike Evans surpassed 1,000 receiving yards, which was amazing. I'm happy that he got his 1,000 receiving yard season. The Rams losing to the Seahawks. This one I kind of have a qualm with. I think the Rams maybe should have played their starters and at least built a sizable lead, because now they're the 4 seed playing the Vikings, which they might match up well against, but I think they maybe would have matched up better against Washington, but they don't have any familiarity with Washington. And then that is pretty much that. I mean, Denver also beat the Chiefs B team. So congrats on finally making the postseason, Denver, for the first time since 2015 when Peyton Manning wound up winning it for you all. And then Detroit really socked it to Minnesota. It's like Minnesota was just allergic to scoring in the red zone. It's so disappointing because I really liked Sam Darnold, and Sam has really turned that team around. But now I'm starting to think, is Minnesota going to be a one and done even with 14 wins? That's going to still be up for debate. But the NFC runs through Detroit, the AFC runs through Kansas City, and everyone is 0-0, and it's sure to be an exciting postseason.
It definitely is there. And do you see Brandon Buck? Good old Brandon Buck.
Yeah, B and C team.
He, of course, Brandon is
Sorry, B and C
it's all
team.
good. It's the B-C team.
Oh, B-C team. Oh, yeah, I didn't see that little.
Good old Brandon Buck, man. He, of course, is the host of This Is KC Sports here on iSports Radio. Make sure to catch him on Monday afternoons, man. Doing a great job here covering all things Kansas City. Of course, he talked about this yesterday on the show. Like, yeah, get out of here, Denver. Like, whatever. I mean, wrestling players, I get it. But when it comes
at
down
least
to
the
it,
Chiefs played Make-A-Wish.
they did. They definitely did. So, with that said, Teran, let's get on in. Let's just end the season. Thankfully, the season's over. Oh my! As a Raider fan, I am so happy. What a shame, right? I mean, come on, man.
I
The
expected
Raiders,
way better from them.
we did too. Yeah, dude. I had this team really looking better this year. I had us winning like 10 games, 10, 11 games. But haha, it's the Raiders, right? Regardless, though, three teams from the AFC West making it this year. Yeah, we just talked about this a little bit ago before you got here, Brandon. Yeah, Antonio Pierce, of course, let go. Yeah, the only team that's had Casey's, the only coach that's had Casey's number. Yeah, it is what it is, right? We played them well, and I mean, on Black Friday, that was a victory right there. Just unfortunately, that's not all Pierce's fault, as I said before. You too, Mark Davis. Dumbass.
It's a tough
seriously?
business, unfortunately.
It is, but that's why you get for go getting Gardner Minshew and not just playing O'Connell. You made a week freaking preseason or week 1 mistake, okay, to beat the Chiefs in week 13 on Black Friday or week 12. I mean, really,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, come on. So that's what they get. I don't care. I'm happy the Chiefs won that game. Good. So to show you a bunch of idiots who are running that program or that franchise. So let's see. And then, of course, Brandon Buck says, Teran, really hoping the Chargers make it to the divisional round. Hey,
Me
man.
too.
Well, we'll see, brother. So let's go ahead and talk about this, man. This is it, the NFL wildcard weekend. Of course, Teran and I are going to be live on Saturday morning, so we're going to be talking about this. But we still got to get some picks in because, well, Teran, actually we don't really got to make any picks, and I think we should just keep the drama up and keep our picks, Teran. We should keep our
let's
picks.
keep them in suspense.
Let's keep them in suspense for this week because, of course, we're going to be on 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10 a.m. Eastern Time on Saturday. Make sure to catch us here on Mega 3 and Outs. And, of course, check us out, man. Show us some love. Tune on in. But, yeah, we're going to get our picks for Wild Card Weekend. But we got ourselves some good ones, Teran, some doozies. Chargers at Texans. Oh, my gosh, the Chargers and Texans. This is the first year back in the NFL. I hear people say first year head coach, first year, and what is it? First year head coach, Jim
Harbaugh.
My gosh. Yeah, Jim Harbaugh. I'm like, guys, I get it. It's his first time back, but he was in the NFL before, okay? Like, you know what I mean, with the Niners, regardless.
This isn't his first rodeo.
It's not. So the dude's got some experience. So congratulations to him. But yeah, man, I mean, this is going to be big. And then the Texans, D'Amico Ryan had this team playing really, really well. But now they're looking a little soft. They're looking a little weird. Texans have never made it past that divisional round in their history. Is this the year, or will the Chargers have something to say about this and send these guys home again in either the first or second round of the playoffs? So you got that going on. Steelers, Ravens. Oh my gosh. Third time this year. I love it. Loving to get that divisional battle in the playoffs. And this is it. The Steelers, though, of recent, they didn't look too good, especially against the Bengals. Maybe the Bengals have their number. I don't know. But the Ravens, oh my gosh, they are catching stride at the right time. Is this the moment where they do away with the Steelers and move on to the next round, or the Steelers pull something out of the bag? Russell Wilson, he's got things to prove. He's proved a lot so far. Is this his year, or is that MVP, possible winning MVP, Lamar Jackson and his Ravens? I mean, are they going to take it? Who knows? The Broncos, Bo Nix has turned a lot of heads this year. But guess what? There's another MVP candidate in this game, and that, of course, is Josh Allen. And this dude is getting it done. I mean, he's going to show you how special this guy is. Teran, you and I knew about the Wyoming Cowboys before he was there. Nobody else really did. Just kidding. And now that he's gone, the Wyoming Cowboys are nowhere to be found. I'm just saying, he's one of those guys, man. Went to a school, put him on the map for a little bit. The guy's amazing. I mean, he's done a lot of great things. Wild arm, tamed it down. That's what I'm saying about Joe Milton. Oh, he's wild. Oh, his arm is this. Yeah, but he's got a freaking cannon. If he can control it the way that Josh Allen has, the guy can be a stud in the NFL. So just saying, I know he's got, there's other things to consider there. But what I'm saying is the Bills are a very strong team. Will they finally, I mean, they've been past this round in the last couple of years, but will they continue on? Is this the year they get to the bowl? The Four Falls of Buffalo, everyone knows it. Is this the year they get there and get redemption? We don't know. Or will the Broncos have something to say about this with their first-year quarterback? Sean Payton knows about winning some Super Bowls, or winning one at least. So is this that year? You look at the Packers and Eagles. Oh my gosh, the stories in this one is fun. The Packers this year, I didn't even think was going to be this great. I really didn't have them being this good. And the Eagles are right where they thought they should be. I think the spotlight is really off of the Bills and Eagles now. They're just playing better. I don't know. But let's just see. Can the Eagles make this thing happen and move forward? Or will the Packers put an end to the Eagles season and move forward? The Commanders and Buccaneers, oh my gosh. This is another fun game. Commanders surprised everybody this year, I think including themselves. The Buccaneers, they've been here before. But are they going to do what they've done before? And that's make an appearance and exit, And then, of course, you have here the Vikings. Oh, my gosh. The Vikings had a chance to win that division. Didn't do it. They played crappy last week, but doesn't mean they're going to play crappy this week versus a Rams team who I seriously did not even have making the playoffs this year. But the Rams, a lot like the Vikings, a lot like the Commanders, have proven a lot of people wrong, including myself. And here they are again battling. Sean McVay has his team firing. I mean, Teran, we have a good batch of games for Wild Card Weekend.
Absolutely. A lot of good games. It seems like the Houston Texans always get the 1:30 p.m. Pacific time slot, which I find really funny. But I like how the matchups go. It's the first 3 games are from the AFC, and the next 3 games are from the NFC. So, and then we're also going to see a playoff game on Prime Video, which for those that don't have Prime Video, I feel bad for, but if you do have Prime Video, bully for you. So I think we're in for a lot of good playoff games. Some are basically rematches, like Steelers Ravens is a rematch from a few weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, and the rubber match. Green Bay, Philadelphia is a rematch of week 2. Washington, Tampa Bay. Actually, no. Green Bay, Philadelphia is a rematch of week 1. Washington, Tampa Bay is a rematch of week 1 as well. And then Minnesota, Los Angeles, I think, is a rematch of week 7.
I think so. I think it is week 7, but I got to take back and look. But, Teran, we got some damn good games, dude. We got some good ones. And I'm excited about. We're going to talk about all these. We got a little preview of there right now. But obviously, for Saturday's show is going to be all about recapping the Orange and the Cotton Bowl and getting ready for these games here. And this is it, man. We're going to know who our champion. We're going to know who our championship game is going to be on the 20th. And we're going to preview these teams here, these games, see who's gonna, who we think is gonna move on. And that's crazy, man. Into next week, we're gonna be previewing the championship and divisional weekend. I mean, it's crazy. We're getting down to those. I'm telling you, every week since the second week of August, Teran and I have been going, covering it all every single week. And here we are yet again. Well, obviously not the NFL, but now I'm just putting the NFL with it. So yeah, like I said, Teran, next year I think Mega 3 and Out is gonna be one big 3 and Out. We're gonna have some fun covering all the football. But with that said, man, we have ourselves a lot of fun to get to, coming up this weekend. And I'm really, 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 really ready for all this, man. We have had a great season of football. Let's go, man. I think that's going to do it for us, man. That's the deal right there. That's the ender. What a way to end off the show, man. So with that said, we have so much to be grateful for to get into in 2025. I mean, hey, we got the playoffs all going on, the Pro Bowl games, which should just stop. I mean, unless you're into that thing. Senior Bowl's coming up. Got the All-American, Under Armour All-American game coming up, of course, the Shrine Bowl, East-West Shrine Bowl. We got the, oh my gosh, there's another one. I forgot what it's called. Played in Orlando. Oh, it's going to kill me. But it's for, lower division players. I forgot what it was. But anyway, we got that coming up. We got all kinds of stuff coming up, man. So that, obviously, the NFL New Year in March. We got, the Combine, the NFL Super Bowl Combine, NFL New Year coming on up, the draft, OTAs, and then guess what, Teran? I'll see you in August. All that good stuff. So, Teran, any last thoughts, comments, anything you want to say before we're out of here today?
No, except that the football season, college and NFL, are just really flying by.
Where did it go, Teran? You and I were here talking about weeks 1, 2, and 3, and all these great matchups. RCC taking on, RCC falling to Golden West this year. San Mateo falling to Modesto. We had Hutchinson defeating by 1 point Iowa Western in week 2. We had all these crazy games, all the Saturday night football games, all the Division 3. Wisconsin Whitewater, I think, and Wisconsin lacrosse defeating Division 2 teams. craziness, Darren. Grand Valley State, Ferris State going at it this year, just back and forth. As always, Darren, it never fails to be a great season with football, man.
Absolutely. A lot of great football that was played, a lot of good football that's ahead of us. I can't wait for it.
Same here, brother. So with that said, man, make sure to follow our boy Teran right here at all of these socials at Teran Rodriguez. One, of course, set point in SoCal. You can follow me over there via the THE_53. And of course, 3 and Out, college and regular. Pretty soon this could be one. Big shout out to our sponsors, Raw Nutrition, Seal the Deal, Wax Seals, Planet Jerky, and of course, Vital Apparel. For that said, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for us. For Teran Rodriguez, for myself, Larry B. We'll see you next week. Until then, take care, and as always, God bless.
Peace.
Peace.